I'm your host, Evan Roderman, and I'm joined by...
Moose Upland.
Got Isaac right here.
The Dillmeister.
You got JJ.
All right, on today's episode, we're going to be breaking down Mel Kiper's 2025 mock draft. All right, with the first pick, Mel Kiper has Cam Ward going to the Titans. What do y'all think about that fit?
Well, personally, I think it's probably the right move here. Cam Ward, solid stature, solid background, good old Texas boy. Played at a small school early on, but then transitioned to taking over for Miami, and the rest is all history, right? Does he fit with the Titans team? Yeah, that's another question that we'll find out. But I think he's got some decent weapons. I think Calvin Ridley could have a bounce back year and really look like the player he used to be. That just remains to be seen.
Alrighty, at number 2, Mel Kiper has the Cleveland Browns selecting Travis Hunter, the two-way player. Isaac, what do you think? Is Travis Hunter going to be playing cornerback or wide receiver or both? Or what do you think about that?
If he goes to Cleveland, like Mel Kiper thinks, I think honestly he is going to play both ways. That team needs a lot of help on both sides of the ball. So that's definitely going to help them out. Honestly, I think they could go either way with him or Abdul Carter, because matching him up with Myles Garrett. Definitely not a bad little duo there, but getting somebody like Travis Hunter, honestly, probably should go number 1. Just the type of athlete and dual player that he is. But yeah, no, him going number 2 just makes the most sense for Cleveland. Having him play both ways, a little bit on one side or the other, depending on where he excels at better in the league.
Gotcha. And my New York Giants are selecting 3. Mel Kiper has Abdul Carter, the edge rusher from Penn State, going there. Dylan, you got an outside idea. What do you think's going to happen with my Giants?
When you pair him up with Dexter Lawrence or Brian Burns, I think you can get a lot of pressure on the quarterback. Really, just squeeze the quarterback in the pocket. You're not going to be able to get anywhere. As far as the offense goes, you're going to have a lot of defense on the field.
Yeah. Is he the best player in the draft, do you think?
No.
No.
I think Travis Hunter is definitely the best player in the draft here. Two-way player, can go both ways, but he is the best defensive player.
Wishful thinking there, huh?
I try to be. We suck. All right, at number 4, the New England Patriots. Mel Kiper has them selecting Will Campbell, the tackle. JJ, what do you think about the Patriots selecting a tackle in the top 5?
I think it's definitely needed when you have Drake May going into his second year. They added the offense. We were just talking about Diggs and how it may or may not affect him, but overall you need to protect your quarterback, and that being your franchise quarterback in the future. And so I think that's a good pick, and hopefully it pays off in the long term, just over the next decade.
Okay. And now number 5, one of the divisional rivals of the Texans, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Mel Kiper has them selecting Mason Graham, the D tackle from Michigan. Isaac, what do you think that's going to do for that division?
Honestly, it's definitely something that they need. I mean, the Jags need help a lot all around besides that, because Trevor Lawrence just, I don't know, he hasn't shown much, not enough to be that highly paid at least, but definitely helping out on the defense, because they don't give the Texans much of a problem. I don't even see them giving the Colts much of a problem. So at this point, they need any help they can get up front on the D-line. So honestly, that's the best available pick right there. That one honestly makes the most sense for Mason Graham to go 5 if they don't trade back.
Right. And at number 6, the Las Vegas Raiders. He has them selecting Ashton Genty, the running back from Boise State. JJ, what do you think about that selection for the Raiders?
I mean, that's the best running back off the board right away. And bringing in Pete Carroll, you got Geno Smith, you got to have a running back. And obviously they got Brock Bowers last season, so I think if you throw in someone like Genty just to go with that, like they're looking nice going forward. And they're already in a tough division, so like why not just go in, like bet on a new running back and see what happens.
Yeah. Dylan, do you think the addition of having Geno Smith at quarterback, and then if you get a running back like that, and already having Brock Bowers is enough of an offense?
Yeah, I mean, when you think about the Seahawks having like the 1-2 punch over in Seattle, and then adding Pete Carroll in there, I think having Genty in there will really take the pressure off of him, make the opposing defenses kind of second guess whether they should rush or not.
Okay. At number 7, the New York Jets are selecting Armand Membu. If I butcher that, fuck my life. Jared, with the Jets selecting Justin Fields, picking him up this offseason, is that the right move for the Jets just to bolster the offensive line?
The Jets, I'm going to be totally real with you. Do I think Justin Fields is that guy? I do not. And I think this move is really just solidifying your O-line for the next Manning. Next draft. And, we'll see how that goes. But I don't see Justin Fields being that guy. I think he's a great gadget player, in my opinion. And maybe even maybe the young buck Travis gets a shot midway through the year. Jordan Travis.
Okay, interesting. All right, and number 8, the Carolina Panthers. He's predicting Jalon Walker, the edge rusher from Georgia. What do you think about that, Dylan? Is this the right move for the Panthers?
I think it is the right move. I think their defense really sucks. They got Jadeveon Clowney, Bobby Brown, J.C. Horn out there, but they don't really have a lot of rush on the offense. So I think they need to bolster up that front.
Okay. And at number 9, Isaac's New Orleans Saints are supposed to be selecting Shedeur Sanders, quarterback from Colorado. I know you're. What do you think about that?
Yeah, absolutely not. There's no way they're taking Shedeur. Because at this point, I understand everything going on with Carr, but there's no way. There's no reason for us to go for Shedeur when we can help out in drafting some more O-linemen or something like that. There's a lot of other needs that the Saints have outside of just that. Like, we could get a corner like Will Johnson out of Michigan. Go somewhere like that route at number 9 instead of Shedeur Sanders. And if Derek Carr doesn't play this year, tank for Manning, baby. Bring him home.
Are we all
just
in
like
on,
his grandpa?
all in on Spencer Rattler?
I'm all in on Spencer this year, I guess.
Now, Isaac, how would you feel about a receiver, though, solidifying, again, maybe the next year, like you're saying, but, getting a young receiver, and who would it be?
I just don't think there's a receiver at that point worth that high of a draft pick. When you can get someone like a Will Johnson at cornerback, when corner is a lot harder to come across right now in this draft compared to the receivers, you could still get a stud receiver in the 2nd or 3rd round. So, there's no point in wasting it on that when you can go best available, which at that point I think would be Will Johnson.
Okay. And number 10, the Bears. Supposed to be selecting Tyler Warren, the tight end of Penn State. He's been dubbed the next Jeremy Shockey by some, so that was his favorite player growing up. JJ, what do you think about Tyler Warren?
I think Tyler Warren's a dog. And at 6'6", I think drafting him as a weapon for Caleb Williams just kind of take Caleb Williams to the next level. Obviously, they have a new coach and everything like that, so they're hoping for the best, but I think that's someone that the coach is probably looking at. It's okay, I can start off with this guy. I already have Caleb Williams. I already have, who's the running back? They don't have Swift anymore. They have I have to look that up. But anyways, I think there's not much else they could get right there. So getting just one of the best offensive weapons in the draft is just a no-brainer.
Okay. All right. At number 11, the San Francisco 49ers. Instead of getting a weapon with the departure of Deebo Samuel, it has them selecting Kelvin Banks Jr., the offensive tackle from Texas. Jay, what are your thoughts on the player? And is that the right move, or should they try to?
Yeah. Well, if you're talking about San Fran, you're talking about an aging team, and one that still thinks they have enough to reload and go after it. It's a very safe pick in my mind because while you're also reloading, you're also looking for the future with that pick if it doesn't really work out. Can McCaffrey stay healthy? That's a huge question mark. Who's going to take Debo's spot? Is Ricky Pearsall that guy? But overall, Kelvin Banks, I have him as my highest rated O-lineman in this whole draft.
Yeah, okay. You should tell the Jets that before they select the other guy. All right, at number 12, the infamous Dallas Cowboys, selecting Matthew Golden, wide receiver from Texas. JJ, what do you think about that receiver?
I think that, first of all, I think that Matthew Golden's a great receiver, but I mean, the Cowboys have been praying for a wide receiver too for years now. So, as much as I don't like talking about them, I think this would be a good pick for them. But
Dylan, you think wide receiver is the way to go as the Cowboys, or is that just going to be a Jerry Jones type thing?
that's where I'm at too.
I think wide receiver is a horrible way to go. They were praying that they would get Ginty in this draft, but I also know that they had 2 O-linemen, kind of retire this season.
Mm-hmm.
So I think trying to go running back here is a horrible idea. I think they should try to bolster up that O-line and try to protect Dak. He gets an injury every season.
Yeah, with as much money as they invested, we
So,
think that'd be
with
probably.
them being mid-round, do you think they should just trade up and get an O-lineman? Because those 3 guys are going up top.
It's possible. I mean, it's not really a Jerry Jones tactic to go, trade up. They're going to sacrifice draft picks in the future. I think they're going to pray that a good O-lineman falls to them.
Okay. At number 13, the aforementioned Will Johnson, cornerback from Michigan, going to the Miami Dolphins. What do you think about that, Isaac? They just let go of their boy.
I mean, it makes sense. Did Jalen Ramsey already go?
He's gone?
Okay, then at that point, then yeah, it definitely would make sense for them to go someone like Will Johnson. If the Saints hadn't hopefully picked him up already at that point. If not, then the Dolphins, I mean, they definitely need some help there. I mean, I can see them going someone like Jahdae Barron or someone like that. Or honestly, they need safety help too. Like someone like Malachi Starks might be good from Georgia. So
Okay, there you go.
that could be a good move. Regardless, they need help on that defense.
All right, at number 14, the Indianapolis Colts, selecting the second tight end, Colston Loveland from Michigan. What do you think about him being an Ohio State fan, JJ?
Well, first of all, fuck Michigan. But as far as the player is really good. And unfortunately, if he goes to the Colts too, I'm not gonna like that either. But as far as the Colts drafting him and giving Richardson a weapon when this is Richardson's do or die year, I think that's a good pick. And even then, if Richardson's not the guy of the future, the next guy will have a nice tight end already. So it would be a smart move from them. I'm not quite sure what all they need, but this would be a good start.
All right, at number 15, the Atlanta Falcons are selecting Mike Green, the edge rusher from Marshall, after getting Penix last year. Is this the type of pick that's actually going to be?
I think it absolutely makes sense. They have a pretty decent O-line. Obviously, you have Drake London, Darnell Mooney, Bijan, so you don't really need to go for like a pass catcher or any sort of running back here. I think the best move is definitely going an edge rusher. They have all the linebackers and all the secondary help that they can have.
So you think that'll round out the defense and they should be pretty much set?
Absolutely. They have a horrible division.
You can say dog shit. That's
Yeah.
At 16, the Arizona Cardinals selecting Barron, the cornerback from Texas. You talked about him a little bit earlier, Isaac. Do you think he's the best corner, or is it Will Johnson?
I think it's Will Johnson. I think Will Johnson is the best corner in the draft right now. But going to the Cardinals, I mean, you just see Patrick Peterson retired. I know he hasn't played for the Cardinals in a while, but they haven't had a top tier guy at corner since Patrick Peterson. Just had to mention him just because, coming out of that draft. But yeah, someone like that definitely makes sense. I could see them even helping out the O-line some, because they've been drafting defense the last few years lately, and definitely to help out Kyler Murray at the end of the day.
Gotcha.
I still think Kyler's the guy.
Do you think he has enough weapons as is, or should they just be more focused on getting one of those top receivers left, like Ohio State's Emeka or McMillan from Arizona?
If they got someone like McMillan to match up with Harrison, that would be a good little 1-2 punch with Kyler there. I don't think they need to draft that high up of a receiver. Like I said, with a bunch of these other receivers, this receiver class is pretty stacked. Like, I think you could get one of these guys in the second round and still be fine and draft like a real positional need.
Okay. All right, at number 17, we have the Cincinnati Bengals selecting Walter Nolan, the D tackle from Ole Miss. Jared, is that the right move with Joe Burrow being hurt and lack of a lineman?
Yeah, I mean, is it the right move? Nolan, is it the right player? I don't know. Is it the right idea? Yes. Obviously, you have to build that defense. You can't rely on Joe Burrow putting up 80 every time, even though he will. I know it was controversial that they signed Higgins to an extension, and people say he played like Madden. But they are going to put up Madden-like numbers. So you do have to bolster that defense.
Yeah, it seems like last year we were doing a lot of shootouts. Y'all think that's the right decision to go defense versus?
Absolutely. They were getting dog stomped every single game. I mean, Joe Burrow had to be God.
Joe Burrow, I think, only won 2 games, putting up 25 points. Damn. The rest he had to put up 30 plus in order to win, which is a crazy.
All right, speaking of Pete Carroll's old team at number 18, the Seattle Seahawks, have them selecting Gray Zabel, the guard from North Dakota State. What do you think about that? I don't know. What do you think, Dylan?
I think if you are throwing in Sam Darnold, who has a history of being pretty mid, and then has one good year on a team, I think you need to protect him at all costs. I think you have 2 running backs that can really give you a lot of points here and then take the pressure off of Darnold. So if you're going O-line, I think this is the right move.
Okay, even with the departure of DK Metcalf, and again, still has some of the top receivers available, you think that's the better option to go?
I think that's the better option. I mean, you have JSN still out there. Like I said, the 2 running backs, and I think you can try to reach on a wide receiver in the second round that can really complement JSN.
They did also sign Cooper Kupp, so they're not too wide receiver needy right now.
Well, the Cooper Kupp is past his prime. I mean, last year he had a few good games, but you see the injuries really mounting on him, and I think he's done.
Would you say it is that, or was it more the quarterback targeting Puka over Cooper?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't think that's the case. I think there's a lot less separation. I think he's probably not going to hit 1,000 yards this season, and I think Noah Fant would probably be a better complement for JSN than Cooper Kupp.
Wow.
Okay.
What a take.
White on white crime right there.
Yeah, white on white.
All right, number 19, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers selecting Nick.
Imanwari?
Thank you, Jesus.
Yeah, save him.
Yeah, the safety from South Carolina. Isaac, that's your division. Do you think this helps the Buccaneers stay in first place?
Honestly, I think that division is going to come down to, I hate saying this, but I think it's going to come down between the Falcons and the Panthers based on how they draft. I don't think, just based on what they have and all the different changes going on this past season, I don't think that's going to help them too much. I mean, they did re-sign Antoine Winfield Jr., so they're pretty set in the secondary, I would think. But having a guy like Imanwari, not a bad pick. I mean, that guy and Malachi Starks, I think, are the top safeties in this draft. So definitely wouldn't be bad to have him. Maybe throw him in the nickel here and there when you can.
Okay.
Pretty versatile player.
At number 20, the Denver Broncos selecting a person with a much easier name. Omarion Hampton, the running back from North Carolina. What do you think about that, JJ?
I think pairing him with Bo Nix going into his second season is a great idea, especially under Sean Payton. He would probably utilize him kind of like Kamara when he was in New Orleans. They've been needing a running back for a couple seasons now, so I think that would help shake up their division even more. And just like I said, Bo Nix going into his second season, having a running back that he can give the ball to and take care of like first and third down, I think that'd be a smart move.
Gotcha. At 21, the Pittsburgh Steelers selecting the D tackle from Oregon, Derek Harmon. What do you think of that, Jared? I mean, they don't have a quarterback right now as it stands.
Well, see, I'm going to go back to my last take here, right? And this is where I think I had, the Bengals, I think I have them taking Harmon over the last pick, right? Over Nolan. Nolan's less consistent at Ole Miss. Harmon has such a motor. He's just been very consistent. And so I think those are, I have those flip-flopped. Do I think the Steelers go defense? I think they do.
Okay. All right, at 22, the Los Angeles Chargers selecting the Ohio State wide receiver, Mecca. What do you think of that, JJ? That's your team. You followed him closely. You're an Ohio State fan.
I mean, that'd be such a great weapon for Justin Herbert after getting McConkey last season. And I think when I say no one can really rely on Quentin Johnson and Mike Williams, they need another guy. So, and that, like him being in the slot, and then you could, McConkey out there too, I think that would make their offense even better. Harbaugh is still going to run the ball, obviously, but having those two just quick slants or whatever, like that'd be a good idea. And just like with the Broncos, like that just shakes up the division even more, puts even more pressure on the Chiefs.
Yeah.
So.
What do you feel about Najee Harris going over there?
Ooh, he did go there. I'm a fan of Najee Harris. I really don't know how that's going to go. I mean, I would imagine he's had 1,000 yards like all his seasons.
Every single season somehow.
So I mean that in that regard, I think he'll do fine. Is he going to be like the X factor for their team? Probably not. I think it's going to be McConkey, or it could be a group like them two together. But overall, I think that makes the Chargers a lot better. Herbert needs to take that next step, obviously too, and like get over his little playoff slump. So.
Okay, Isaac, is that the best wide receiver in this class, in your opinion?
No, but then again, I would still say Travis Hunter is even the best wide receiver just because of his experience at cornerback. He can actually understand how they play compared to that. So honestly, in my opinion, I still think it's Travis Hunter, but if we're talking about just wide receiver, I would have to say it's between him and Matthew Golden.
You disagreed. I saw your head shaking. What do you feel is the best wide receiver in this draft?
I think you had it right at the end there. I think Matthew Golden is the most NFL-ready receiver.
Okay.
Now, does he have the most upside? Probably not. And obviously, the versatility of Hunter is unmatched. It's Shohei Ohtani. Is he the best hitter in the league? Maybe. Is he the best two-way player? Absolutely, when he's pitching. So, yeah.
Okay. All right, at number 23, chose Green Bay Packers. Shamar Stewart, the edge rusher from Texas A&M. Happy with defense?
No, not really. I mean, I feel like every single year we have this crazy thing where we like to go either linebacker or we like to go O-lineman, and it's going to be an O-lineman that is not very good or a linebacker that is a project.
Okay.
And as you know, the Gutekunst, or however the fuck you say his name, I hate him. He doesn't like to take a wide receiver, so we're not going to see that happen. So the logical choice here, I guess, is defense. We'll see how it goes.
All right, 24, the Minnesota Vikings select Donovan Jackson, the guard from Ohio State. Jared, what do you think? Is that going to be enough to help J.J. McCarthy stand upright?
Well, J.J. McCarthy's going to be another unknown, right? We've seen the Vikings, though, and we've seen them in all their glory and all their gust with Kirk Cousins and Sam Arnold. So now's the time we find out, like, okay, these weapons are absolutely there.
Yeah.
Who's going to be that guy to step it up and take them to that next level?
It's not going to be McCarthy. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, why not?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like they have a better odds taking Aaron Rodgers here than
Really?
McCarthy. I never really thought McCarthy was all that good.
I think he's going to finally complete the Brett Favre cycle.
I mean, I really hope the Brett Favre cycle gets completed. I think with a solid O-line and a good coach that he can do really well. The Jets fucking suck, so you were never going to see Aaron Rodgers compete at a high level there. And he still had better stats than fucking Derek Carr. So
Damn.
take him to the promised zone.
The Jets are tough.
All right, let's give our boy Isaac a shot now. At 25, the Houston Texans are selecting McMillan, wide receiver from Arizona. Y'all just lost Diggs and Tank Dell. This feels like something y'all almost have to do is get a receiver.
So honestly, something like that is actually kind of crazy to see McMillan fall that far down in the mock drafts. Because I was wondering about that earlier if you had said his name, but I was like, I don't think we have. So him falling to 25 actually would be pretty nasty for the Texans. I mean, you match him up with Nico, so you got your two outside wide receivers. Finally get Mechie his shine in the slot. I'm telling you, I think Mechie's gonna do something this year. If not him, I mean, they have plenty of other options at receiver too, and then their tight ends. So wide receiver does make sense if they don't go O-line. Someone like McMillan, you know.
Yeah, you brought up tight end as if Dalton Schultz doesn't look like he's shitting himself every single play.
They drafted Cade Stover last year. And he's
Exactly.
He's got that Ohio State connection.
Bring that owl out.
Not every guy you draft is going to be the next Brock Bowers or the next Kelsey like that.
Yeah,
you know?
but he certainly has to get more than 700 yards. He certainly has to look better than an old tight end.
He certainly has to get more than
If
70
your
snaps in a
team stopped
season.
taking 4 tight ends in the draft, maybe the rest of the league could have guys too. But
And, you know, the second tight end we took ended up being one of the top in the league. People are, yeah, I know, it's crazy. I know.
And that was after a start from the other guys.
Just wait till the other guy comes back and he's healthy.
Oh, goodness. All right.
Well, hopefully he doesn't, kill somebody, end up like, somebody named Hernandez.
Yeah, we don't forget
Jesus
that guy.
Christ. We're talking about stools because of Schultz. You get it? No,
Yeah,
okay.
I got you. At 26, the Los Angeles Rams select Maxwell Hairston, the cornerback from Kentucky. What do you think about that, JJ?
The Rams definitely need help on defense. From what this says, he runs a 4.28, so I mean, why not? That's probably the fastest guy in the draft, I would imagine. They haven't really replaced, since they've had Jalen Ramsey, which was years ago, and the Rams are kind of rebuilding. So, I mean, yeah, again, like, this is just something for the future, honestly. I don't know how much of an impact he's going to have year one, but, like, over time, I'm sure it'd be a great pick.
All right. At 27, the Baltimore Ravens select Malachi Starks, safety from Georgia. Jared, do you like that pick, kind of pairing him with Kyle Hamilton already at free safety?
The Ravens are another Vikings, but they have the quarterback.
Okay.
We haven't seen them go past that hump. And it's a tough hump in the AFC, right?
Definitely.
You have all those names, Mahomes, Allen, Jackson. It's a rat race. And Burrow too. I mean,
Yeah.
wow.
What about Deshaun Watson?
You got Deshaun Watson too.
I'm scared of him for different reasons.
But no, I mean, again, four of the top 6 quarterbacks are in the AFC. So I mean, they got offensive weapons. I don't mind going defense here. Stark's that guy, maybe, but I do think they have some other needs. I think they could use another inside guy in that box.
God forbid they draft a receiver, right? It's just sign Odell Beckham Jr. at 36.
Well, they got D-Hop, yep.
Oh, look.
Look at that.
All right, 28. Team in your division, Dylan. The Detroit Lions select Mikael Williams, edge rusher from Georgia.
I think that's a great pick. I think they are pretty much well-rounded on every single part of their entire team. I mean, they have a great offensive line. They have the great weapons. I think they have great linebackers, a good secondary, but their front could use some help other than Reeder and Hutchinson. So well-rounded. They'll probably take our division again with that pick. So
Gotcha.
I like it.
Okay. At 29, we have the Cleveland Browns coming back up again, selecting Jackson Dart, quarterback from Ole Miss. Isaac, what do you think of this pick?
Well, right now it's the Commanders' pick.
Via Commanders.
Yeah, that's projected trade. So
All right, well, in this, Mel
This
Kiper
is
has a projected
This is a
trade.
mock draft, man.
In that aspect, if they do happen to trade into that pick, I don't think it's a good move. I think that you could honestly still wait till the second round. I don't know if they have a second round pick, I'm not too sure. Or if they've traded that away, but I think that they can, it looks like they got the 33rd pick, so
they currently have the 33rd and 67th.
I think they easily could have just waited till 33. I think you're giving up a little bit of draft compensation for what? Just
Is this recording?
Yeah, it should be.
It is.
Fuck, dude.
Oh shit, dude. Jimmy Butler played fucking 8 minutes. That's a whole quarter.
That's what I said. I mean, it was the fucking first quarter.
Oh
No,
my
it's 12.
God.
I thought it was like 12 minutes a quarter, dude.
It is, Jerry.
he played like
Rounds up a lot.
3/4 of the quarter.
That's the whole quarter.
No.
Nobody plays fucking 12 minutes.
So we got the Jackson Dart. Or should we just redo Jackson Dart?
I would
He
start at
played
29.
He
Yeah.
played two
He
thirds.
played what he would have.
Dude, he played 40 plus minutes in the last 3 games.
He played what he would have.
Whatever. All right, let's get back to it.
All right, Jared.
And they were still clapping.
Hey, dial in, buddy. Dial in. Let's say you're excited.
That motherfucker's sorry.
Okay.
We can use that for so many things. that motherfucker, sorry.
That should just be a button.
That just be like a segment of the week? That motherfucker sucks.
Yeah, no, that's
Sorry.
perfect.
Yeah. Speaking of
Alright.
sorry, Derek Carr.
That motherfucker, sorry.
Motherfucker, sorry.
Put that on the coffee mug, bro.
Man, put that shit on a cracker.
Coffee mug is gonna fucking break. Thoughts?
Well, I guess that motherfucker sorry is a coffee mug too, bro. Alright.
Alright.
Alrighty, so Isaac, it's gonna be you at 29.
Wait. So
Is it recording?
Yeah.
Jackson Dart.
the trade, introduce it as a trade.
Yeah.
Alright. Damn. I really like the Jihad camera.
I did too.
I can't breathe.
I don't think I can do that again.
Yeah.
It probably cut out for a reason. God,
I heard it was like,
God was saying that.
It was
Like, they were getting canceled first episode.
Not my God.
yo,
The Jihad. Yeah, we're all getting
he
fucking
backtracked.
canceled.
He was like, he's from Alabama.
What do you mean you're God?
That's it.
Not your God.
Please don't sue me.
Alright.
Help me, Allah.
Oh man.
Whenever y'all are ready.
We're ready.
Matter of fact, don't even edit it, dude. Just put in all of this part.
Stop, Jared.
It's gonna be really confusing.
Shit.
Oh man, let's keep saying. Wait,
What? What? Nah, that's perfect.
Who went to jail recently? Me or you?
Oh, nah, that's perfect.
Oh, you're out with that.
Alright, we're just gonna make a blooper reel for this first one.
Alright.
I think I just heard 3 all right. Alright,
Let's get it out, yeah.
Alright.
I'm ready.
Thank you, Jared.
Car coming back at us.
She's like, oh, you gotta record him again?
She's like, fuck your take.
Oh man.
Alright.
Shit.
That was dog.
Who let the dogs out? Alright, get it, bro.
Speaking of dogs, talking about the dog pound, baby.
Alright, at 29, we have a trade proposed from the Commanders to Cleveland. Got the Cleveland Browns selecting Jackson Dart, quarterback from Ole Miss. Do you think that's the answer? Smart decision to trade back in and select that guy?
It's smart if you think that's the guy of the future. I don't think that's the right pick for them. I think they could still easily get him later on, but taking him there to take that 5th-year option on him, have him sit behind Massage Watson over there, if not Kenny Pickett apparently, or even Joe Flacco. Yeah, they did re-sign Joe
Why not have
Flacco.
4 quarterbacks, bro?
So having that many quarterbacks is kind of crazy. You're gonna have to drop down to 2 to 3 eventually. They definitely could use some more help on offense. Regardless, I mean, they got rid of Amari Cooper. Yeah, you got Jerry Jeudy, but you definitely use some more help over there. You need a running back at this point too. So I don't see a reason to trade back in. But if they're gonna do that, and that's the guy of the future, I mean.
Okay. Alright, at number 30, we have the Buffalo Bills selecting Trey Amos from Ole Miss, cornerback. What do you think about that, JJ? Pairing him with Tre'Davious White?
I think that's a good decision. The Bills need help on defense more than anything. We're not really sure what's happening with James Cook right now, but I don't think they would take a running back here anyways. So I think defense is a smart move. That's really what it's going to come down to when they're going to try to beat the Chiefs. So.
Alright.
It's almost.
Speaking of the Chiefs, at number 31, we have the Kansas City Chiefs selecting Josh Connerly, offensive tackle from Oregon. What do you think about that, Dylan?
Defensive tackle?
Offensive tackle.
Offensive tackle. Well, I think if you have your poster boy Mahomes out there, he is, well coveted by the league. The refs love him. I think the best thing you need to do is protect your guy. I think if you protect him, you have a pretty good defensive lineman. So I think that's the best move.
All right, and at number 32, the Philadelphia Eagles selecting Jihad Campbell, linebacker from Alabama.
What a name.
Say that one more time for me.
Jihad Campbell. What do you think about that pick, Jared?
Well, I think me and you better hope he's a bust, right?
Yeah.
I mean, shit. He better, he better not live up to that name and terrorize our damn quarterbacks. I'm kidding. Don't sue me. He did go to Alabama though, so that's as American as it gets. I mean, shit. It makes sense. They got rid of CJ, traded him to the Texans, so you replace defense with defense. I like it. I don't like it, but I hope he sucks. But but for the Eagles, yeah, it makes sense.
Alrighty, that concludes Mel Kiper's first round mock. And now we'll present our own picks going around the board.
Yeah, fuck the Jihad's.
Alright, JJ being a Texans fan, who do you think the Texans are going to select?
Who do I think? I think we're gonna go O-line and get Donovan Jackson from Ohio State. Not just because he went to Ohio State and paired him with CJ, but we need help O-line wise. We traded away Laramie Tunsil, but overall, like the O-line just was not good enough last season. Even with CJ just struggling with kind of his own problems and stuff like that, like the O-line did not help him either. So I think just for him to get back on track and for us to move forward as an organization, we need to replace that O-line with like just younger talent.
Okay, and as previously stated, we had the departure of Diggs and then Tank Dell coming down with that injury.
Right.
I think offensive line is a bigger need than getting a receiver if McMillan's still available.
So if McMillan's still available, I would obviously take him. Or as we were talking about Ibuka as well, either one would be fine with me. But realistically, I don't think McMillan will fall that low. Now Ibuka might still be there, which like I said, take him. But if it comes down to there's not a receiver they like, then I think they'll just go offensive line and just make the safe bet, which I would be fine with.
How do you feel about them trading up, as all the rumors are saying that they could trade up anywhere between 9 and 11, no correlation?
I mean, if they have someone, kind of like what they did 2 years ago when they got Will Anderson and all that, if they have someone that they think is going to change the organization and it's worth it, then go for it. But as we were talking about earlier, like the trades we saw, like would it be worth it? Like what they're giving up, like some of them were like, I don't know if we should do that. We might just be able to stick with where we're at, or it really just depends on what we give up and who it is.
If they do trade up that high, where do you think they go? O-line or receiver?
If we trade up that high, it's got to be receiver then.
You think?
Yeah.
Because there is those three top O linemen.
Yeah. No. I get what you're saying, but no. I'll retract.
And they did get Christian Kirk. Let's not forget about
This
that.
is true. No, yeah. So.
And we got rid of Tunsil already.
Yeah, so from you saying that, I'll go back on that and say that they're probably looking at an O-lineman. Because all the teams up there are looking at weapons, like offensive weapons.
Yeah.
So that's who would be gone. So yeah.
Alright, at 23, Dylan, what do you think your Green Bay Packers are going to do?
I mean, I'm going to bounce off of what he said. You know, I hope to God that the Packers finally decide to go a first-round wide receiver, try to get Ibuka or Golden. It's not going to happen. I feel like every single year I watch the draft, you see these top 10 picks, and everyone's saying, "Oh, we're going to have a tackle here, a tackle there." It's always wide receivers, 3 or 4 of them in the top 10. So I think we're probably going to go with tackle here. I think we're going to go like Kelvin Banks. I'm going to keep it in the UT field.
Okay. Alrighty, Isaac, what do you think your New Orleans Saints are going to do at number 9?
I think at that point they got to address the O-line. The way Ramczyk retired, we need help on the O-line, no matter who our quarterback is, whether it's that bum Derek Carr. That dude sucks. So if it's him, then either way we still got to protect him. If it's Spencer Rattler and we're tanking for Arch next year, we have to protect him regardless for next year. So why not build around that team now? So if you're not taking one of the guys that's either Will Campbell or Kelvin Banks right there, then you got to go with someone like Will Johnson, the top cornerback in the draft, in my opinion. Because you did get rid of. Yeah, I mean it doesn't matter if you're gonna go with.
Sorry.
Yeah, he's sorry. Yeah, he's sorry too. But I'd rather build for next year. You know, we're not gonna be that competitive this year, especially with Derek Carr probably not playing this year. it only makes sense. There's no point in drafting a quarterback when the rest of the team isn't ready. When you draft a quarterback, it's because the rest of your team is pretty stacked up.
It's fair. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
only 2 good quarterbacks in the entire draft. The rest of them are completely bust, and I don't even think Shadir's that good. So,
So who are your 2 quarterbacks then?
well, I'm gonna say Shadir because everybody's sake. They love this guy. I don't think he's gonna be very good. He just has a good dad, and it's really blowing him out of
Dion, you're a
proportion.
good dad.
Yeah, good dad. And then obviously Cam Ward. He has a strong arm, and I think he's going to be the next guy. Unfortunately for the Texans.
Gotcha. Alrighty, Jared, and your Redskins or Commanders or whatever you like to call them.
Yeah, so
Washington football team.
you know, what are we projected to do? I've seen us trade back in a lot of mock drafts. I've also seen us, you know, if we do end up taking the guy out of A&M, the edge guy. So that's not a bad pick. But you know, I'm with Dylan in his boat of wishing things, right? Wishing things that aren't going to happen, right?
Yeah.
You know, I wish I had never dated my ex. I wish I, you know, could find a time with Sydney Sweeney, but that's not going to happen.
That's beside the point.
What I wish the Redskins would do is trade up and get and get Warren, but that's not going to happen.
The tight end?
The tight end or Janty, but that's not going to happen.
You're
So-
way too
a lot.
far back.
Yeah,
Trade 3
The
first round
smart
picks.
and sound thing to do, which probably will happen, is getting those extra picks. And if that mock really does happen with the Browns, then you're getting 2 picks that are mid-tier, and you're replacing some of the stuff you lost getting Laramie Tunsil. So
Yeah, I mean, do you think your O-line is really good with the addition of Laramie Tunsil?
I think the O-line's pretty solid with Tunsil, especially whenever Cosme does come back. But he'll be out a while. We made some veteran signings, but Adam Peters said he wants to build through the draft, and I don't see him losing any more picks trading up. The thing that makes more sense is going back and getting more.
Okay.
Alrighty. And finally, my New York Giants at number 3. For the love of God, do not take Sanders. If it were me and Travis Hunter is still available, that would be the pick.
You have to.
I mean, he can take out 2 positions at once. We need help on cornerback.
Yeah.
We need receiver help. No one seems to stay healthy. But if, you know, the Browns somehow take him, I'd be happy with Abdul Carter. Just pair him with, you know, Lawrence. I'm not sold on, you know, Kayvon Thibodeau anymore. He's just inconsistent and always seems to get hurt, miss at least 6 games a year. I think we're fine at quarterback for right now. Let's go Giants Nation. Russell Wilson, baby.
Jameis.
But I'm hoping famous Jameis is the starter, man. He seems to kind of be the people's choice. And next year we can address the quarterback issue. But
Yeah, I mean, we're going to be number 1 or 2 again next year, so there's a lot of hope there for getting our
training
train.
for Manning, dude.
if we're all talking about wishing shit, man.
I was gonna say, he could be
Another man in
down.
New York.
He could be a Brown.
Yeah,
You might be a clown, Travis Hunter at 3, baby.
Alrighty, well, that's going to conclude today's episode. Thank you guys for watching.
It is.